Political bombshells are anticipated this week during testimony by Donald Trump's former fixer. Michael Cohen has begun 3 days of appearances before the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee. Today's is behind closed doors, but Cohen will speak publicly tomorrow. Reports say he will accuse the president of criminal conduct. CBC's Lindsay Duncombe was tracking it all in Washington. So, Lindsay, what are we expecting to hear from Cohen this week?
Well, what we won't hear is about Russia and collusion and Cohen's continued conversations about the possibility of building a Trump Tower in Russia. Those kinds of conversations would likely be happening at the Senate today, but that is all behind closed doors. The testimony tomorrow, though, will not deal with the specific cooperation that Cohen has had with the special counsel investigator. Instead, he will speak on other topics, and there is the possibility that those topics could address criminal behavior by the President of the United States. Vanity Fair reported this morning that Cohen would say that there has been criminal misconduct by this president while he has been in office. The other thing that we're likely to get more details on is that payment of hush money from Cohen to women who say they had affairs with Donald Trump. And Cohen is expected to say that he did that and then covered it up because the president told him to, or Donald Trump told him to ahead of the campaign. That would be a crime. So that's where the criminal allegations could play into this. The larger picture is that there are likely to be stories that Cohen has about spending all this time working so closely with the president that could be embarrassing. Reports this morning that Cohen will talk about Donald Trump using racist language, Donald Trump exaggerating his wealth in order to be listed in Forbes magazine. And all of this will play out while Trump is in Vietnam, preparing to meeting with the North Korean dictator. Because there is a credibility issue here for Michael Cohen, it is expected that whatever stories he's deciding to tell when he meets Congress tomorrow, he will bring documentation to back it up.
Cohen has lied to Congress before, though, Lindsay. Can people believe him this time?
Well, that's the big question. This is a guy who is going to jail in part because he did lie to Congress. Cohen's story is that he is a changed man, that he is done with lying for Donald Trump. And with Donald Trump in the White House, he sees this as his opportunity to come clean and tell the world about what he knows. That is not the way that the White House sees it. It's not the way the president's supporters see it. Here is what Donald Trump Jr. had to say on Fox News this morning.
Try to, distract or whatever it is by bringing in a convicted felon and known liar. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pretty pathetic, but it really shows you how much, the Democrats hate Trump.
So making this incredibly political, plus Sarah Sanders, the press secretary, has a similar statement. Here's what she said today. She said disgraced felon Michael Cohen is going to prison for lying to Congress and making other false statements. Sadly, he will go before Congress this week, and we can expect more of the same. She says it's laughable that anyone would take a convicted liar like Cohen at his word, and pathetic to see him given yet another opportunity to spread these lies. So the situation that we're facing tomorrow, Andrew, is going to be a spectacle. And the question will be what new information we get, and will that information have consequences for this presidency?
Lots to watch for, Lindsay. Thank you. That is the CBC's Lindsay Duncombe live in Washington.